Bunch of news for this happy Monday, including Hobbit Crossing getting announced, Metroid and Fortnite trying to do a dance, and much more. So good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. We kick off the third full week of April. No Nintendo Direct in sight. But we should have Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door previews later this week, which brings new trailers and hopefully tons of new information about what the extra content is. In the meantime, though, let's kick off today with a fantastic deal that I think is 1020% worth it. Do you remember the holiday bundle that they've had for a few years now, where you get Super Mario Party and 2 Joy-Con? That bundle is supposed to be about $140 of value because it's the game plus the $80 Joy-Con, and then they were selling it for $100 during the holiday season. Well, Walmart seems to be clearing stock, and they currently have it for $79, which is the price of Joy-Con. So you're getting Super Mario Party for free, or you can view it as getting each for $40. Either way, pretty freaking sweet. Even if we attribute $20 of value to Super Mario Party, this is a new set of Joy-Con for $60, which is a pretty good deal. And Super Mario Party, I think, gets a bad rap. I think Super Mario Party is the inferior Mario Party on Switch because Mario Party Superstars is the one that I love from my childhood. It brings back all those games and those boards. I think Super Mario Party, though, was trying to do some new stuff while trying to retain what made Mario Party good. It's not everybody in a buggy, so it's not terrible is what I'm trying to say. And it does have a lot of variety in its minigames and modes, so this is a fantastic deal available for probably until they sell out on Walmart.com. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out. I'm hoping for a new Mario Party this year. I honestly think that's a great holiday game to sort of pacify fans and give us something to dig into with our families and friends as we wait for Switch 2, but maybe they'll opt to release it the first year of Switch 2 and try to have it come out like a big multiplayer banger. Although I do think cross-gen for that makes sense because you've got all these people that bought Super Mario Party and Mario Party Superstars and probably waiting to make a Switch trifecta. At one point, they were releasing these like every year, so we are definitely due for a new Mario Party. I think this deal is pretty cool, and I also think Hobbit Crossing is a nifty idea. If you're a fan of bare feet and small people, furniture, and more, then this new Lord of the Rings game really is up your Shire. It's basically Animal Crossing meets Hobbits. Animal Crossing meets Lord of the Rings. It's called Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game. It's coming the second half of 2024 from Private Division to Nintendo Switch, and it looks to be quite cozy. There are friendships to make, fish to fish, food to cook, gardens to garden, and obviously furniture and homes to decorate and pick, as well as a bunch of friendships to make. Now, I will say that the disappointing thing about this trailer is it looks like the Shire, they don't show a lot of variety in the overall, terraforming nature of the Shire. And since that was the big thing for Animal Crossing New Horizons, that your island could be dramatically different in terms of its undulation than other islands, I hope there's a way to make my Shire have a bunch of bumps, or maybe it's just a flat Shire, or maybe it's going to have, tunnels. I don't know. I feel like they could do a lot of cool stuff, and I'm hoping this first trailer is just kind of highlighting a little bit and not all, although in a game like this, I'd assume you want to show variety, and I'm just not seeing it from the trailer. It's totally branding itself as a cozy game. I do not believe it is going to be full price. I think these farming sim games kind of miss out on some of the elements that make Animal Crossing so successful, which would be the rampant amount of different daily events and things that you can interact with on a calendar-based basis, as well as the amount of control you have over your customization. Like the amount of control you have in deciding how your island is going to look. And I think the terraforming thing, it was a big deal at the beginning, and I sort of lost my luster with terraforming as time went on, but terraforming honestly made Animal Crossing New Horizons very much stand out. Are there really many other games where you can at least somewhat or dramatically affect the actual landscape itself versus just plopping things down? I feel like Disney Dreamlight Valley is close-ish, but I still feel like ACNH does it better than anybody. And I don't know if any game has come close. If you've got one out there that you think does come close to the customization and the flexibility that you have in Animal Crossing, let me know. Because even though this game, Tales of the Shire, has some cool elements and it could be the next fix for cozy game fans and Animal Crossing fans, I feel like it's going to end up being too generic and leave a lot to be desired. Nonetheless, it's another third-party title coming to Switch in the second half, and who knows, maybe this trailer is just bare bones, and we'll get to see a lot more as they dole out their marketing campaign leading up to release. But let me know what you think of the game in the comments down below. Tell me this, be honest with me, okay? Am I making a mistake not and never being a Fortnite player? Is that something that you understand and you think makes sense? Or as someone who loves video games and has my whole life, am I missing out? Am I doing myself a disservice by skipping it? I would have been much more eager to dive in if Nintendo was able to get Samus Aran into Fortnite, and I think that's something we would have covered on the channel, but we've got new information of why it did not happen. This was a rumor we heard for a bit, and it never materialized. And now, thanks to Steven Totillo, we have an interview with Donald Mustard where we talk about what went down with Samus, and basically, long story short, Nintendo wanted Samus skins to only be visible on the Switch. And Epic Games said, like, no, we can't do that. Our marketplace is cross-platform and we want everyone to enjoy. And Nintendo was like, no, if Samus can't be exclusive to Switch, then we'll sit it out. Which I think is interesting that Epic Games was willing to sort of dilute the potential Nintendo partnership in order to stick to their guns. And in some ways that's very cool, and in other ways, like, would it have been so bad? Especially when the Switch first launched Fortnite, I'm sure they were trying to grow the audience and the player base very rapidly, and a Samus skin probably would have done that. Now, maybe part of this is that Epic Games thought, like, okay, if it was, a full-blown Bowser suit or like a full-blown Link or Zelda skin, that would be enough to move the needle for us to make some concessions and give it to you exclusively. But is Samus going to really do that much? I don't know. I mean, Metroid Dread sold the best of any Metroid, and it still was not a mega seller, so maybe that factored in. Perhaps if Nintendo offered a more notable character for this skin, maybe they would have made this deal. Or maybe Epic Games just really thinks like they've got all the power. And truthfully, based on the success of Fortnite and what percentage Fortnite takes up in terms of the overall gaming industry, they're right, for better or worse. But back to my question, am I missing out? Am I missing anything? Is it okay to just ditch the whole Fortnite era? Or should I really involve myself even though it's way late? The skins are interesting to me. I guess my biggest issue is I just don't like the idea of playing a game where you can just lose and then you made no progress. To me, that doesn't feel very fun, and I understand that's mostly how multiplayer games work. But for some reason, when I've played like Call of Duty and more team-based multiplayer, even Splatoon, I feel like I'm working more towards something than Fortnite. The few times I played, the feeling was just like, oh, it's done. Okay, rinse and repeat. And maybe it is because it is so repetitive to me, but nonetheless, like, give me your take. I'd love to hear from you because it's weird. Like, I'm a huge gaming person. I involve myself in this like every waking moment of the day, and yet I skip out on Fortnite and Roblox, which are like the two gargantuan elephants in the room. Anyways, no Samus, and now we know why. Who knows what Embracer Group is? Do you know what they're notable for? They're most known for just buying up everybody. For a while there, Embracer just went on a huge spending spree and just plucked game developers off the shelves like it was candy. And now they've had a lot of problems, a year where they haven't been run so well, they haven't been doing so well, there's been a bunch of layoffs, and so they're switching it all up. They're actually breaking down into 3 companies, 3 like subheadings, and ditching the Embracer Group. So we're now going to have Asmodee, which is the tabletop games publisher, and they make my coveted Star Wars Unlimited, so I do love them for that. And then Coffee Stain and Friends is going to be the indie single A and double A titles. Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends will be the triple A and be the company that brings you Lord of the Rings and Tomb Raider. So now Lara Croft is an enterprise and friend of Middle Earth, just so you know. Embracer Group, though, has supported the Switch well, so this is notable because they have brought a bunch of titles to Switch. So the 2 that we care about for video games are Coffee Stain and Friends, which is going to have games like Epic Mickey Rebrushed, Deep Rock Galactic, Teardown, and then Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends is going to be basically Tomb Raider, Lord of the Rings, and the Metro franchises, although they do have a ton of studios under their belt. 4A Games, Crystal Dynamics, Dambuster Studios, Dark Horse, Eidos Montreal, Flying Wild Hog, Free Mode, Plaion, Tripwire, Vertigo Games, and Warhorse Studios. So they're basically just rebranding. They're splitting things up. It doesn't sound like this is going to affect the development or any current games that they're working on. Eventually, everything Lord of the Rings will fall under Middle-earth Enterprises, but what's funny is the game we talked about today isn't under that because that deal has not fully concluded. Nonetheless, we're getting some games from Coffee Stain. Epic Mickey Rebrushed will be coming out, and that one actually looks promising. I would love to see them bring Deep Rock Galactic to Switch, but it's probably a Switch 2 thing, and they are working on the sequel to Deep Rock Galactic, so maybe that can be a big title on Switch 2. I think Embracer Group, or this weird amalgamation of 3 different brands, is going to factor in heavily to a lot of things that Nintendo Switch has, right, for the next foreseeable future. I mean, Coffee Stain Games and Friends has THQ Nordic, Ghost Ship, Tarsier, Tuxedo Labs, Easy Brain, Deca, Crazy Labs, Cryptic. They've got a lot. This is a lot of games. And wait, Tarsier did Little Nightmares. So, okay, there's a lot here. There's a lot of interesting stuff here, and they have changed their names, so you probably won't be hearing Embracer Group very often. But in the future, if we talk about Coffee Stain and Friends or Middle-earth Enterprises and Friends, now you know what it involves. Let me know what you think of today's topics in the comments down below, everybody. Hope you have a fantastic start to your week, and if you do not, go watch the Fallout TV show. It's freaking incredible. That'll probably turn things around for you. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you lots. SwitchForce out.